Brian, when you factor in everything that happened in June and where you guys have started and where you're at now, and Texas being the #1 team in the country, just how big of a series is this, truly?
Yeah, it's big for us because I think we've been playing good baseball, and you want to keep that rolling, especially into the important time of the season. So when we look at just what we do, because that's really what's most important going into any weekend, regardless of who we play, is how we handle business. And if we play well, then we give ourselves a chance. So we just want to keep playing good baseball and be able to kind of keep growing and keep finding out who we are to be able to be clicking on all cylinders when it gets real important.
As someone who's pitched in this rivalry before, what is it like in those settings versus every other time you're out on the mound?
It's exciting. I mean, it's great for college baseball. It's truly what you think of when you envision college athletics. Like when you think of college football over the last few years, like the Iron Bowl, like everyone gets big for that weekend. Texas OU big for that weekend. Like that's what it's like in the baseball sense for us. So there's definitely a build up to it. There's a little extra, I think, butterflies that roll in there. But then once you start playing, it truly does just become a game.
I'm sure when you play teams that you've played before, they look back and have things on you that they can scout on. But when you play a team that has a coach that had coached you several years and a pitching coach that had worked intricately with you for years, is there just a different level in that sense? Do you think potentially?
Maybe a little bit, but not a ton now with all the data that's out there. There's so much information where everyone can prepare the same. Like the book's out on everybody, so there's a high level of preparation for any guy that throws and all hitters that are out there. So I think maybe what it gives is an insight on how guys handle maybe some of the stuff that you can't calculate, just like who they are, but nothing that no other team can prepare for going into a weekend.
Is it weird to think about the fact that Mike was, at least for like a day, on that staff, and how long ago does that feel?
Feels like forever ago. I kind of forget, like whenever people mention that he technically was over there for a few days, like I don't even think about it. Like I completely forget when maybe I see the picture or something. But no, I mean him being here feels normal, and that's what we know because that feels like so long ago. So he's here, we're all here, and that's what's important.
You mentioned this is what kind of college athletics are made of. Does this feel, it maybe in what's outside the locker room, but does this feel every bit as big as one of the football matchups, or maybe even bigger?
I mean, yes, I guess for the fans and for the university and for everybody else. I'd say for me and for all the guys inside the locker room, it feels like an SEC weekend. Like going into Arkansas last week felt big for us. Going to Tennessee was big. Going to Vanderbilt was big. So it truly is just another weekend in the SEC because all these weekends are so important.
When it is just another SEC weekend, but there is all the personal ties between both these teams and the coaching staffs, how do you guys as players kind of mentally prepare yourself just so you don't go out there maybe overamped or over emotional in a game like this?
Yeah, I think the best way to handle it is leading up to it, and when the game's going on, you just play the game and you have fun. You do what you do all year, and then when the weekend's over, you can kind of go see guys that you had relationships with, or being Texas and Texas A&M, you probably played with a lot of guys on that team also. So be able to put those relationships aside for the first 3 days, and then when that last out's made on Sunday, maybe get to say hello to somebody and then move on with the rest of our season.
Speaking of personal ties, understanding you guys are a house divided, how does the Prager household and family handle matchups like this?
We handle it well. We handle it very well. My sister actually probably has a good amount of maroon now in her closet, so it's awesome. She's a great support, and we can go back and forth a little bit during football season, but there's no question in my mind where her ties are during baseball season.
So are you Team Columbia or Team Penn?
I'm Team Quake Show. I have a little bit of history with Penn coming in here my freshman year, and then I also have a few buddies that I grew up with that are there and played with Wyatt last year. So I'm all Quake Show. I'm with Wyatt.
All right, thanks, Ryan.